Imagination is everything. It's the preview of coming attractions. This was said by Albert Einstein, along with imagination is more important than knowledge. I would be curious to know if you believe that imagination is more important than knowledge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with Supersize Your Business. And today we're going to talk about how do you take imagination and use it, turn it into reality, and then use it to supersize and grow and build your business. Well, there's lots of different ways that you can use visualization and imagination to take your imagination, your idea, from being just that, an idea, a thought, a passing fancy, a glimpse into the future, an idea that you have one day when you're walking down the street maybe, and you can turn that into whatever you want. You can make that a reality. You can turn that into the business of your dreams, which is what we're all here for. We're all here to create and build the business that we love. I hope you're creating the business that you love. Been there, done that, creating the business I didn't love so much, and learned that it's a lot more fun to build the businesses and the life that we love than to create something that we feel is work or a chore. You know, if there's the saying, if you love what you do, you never work another day in your life. And I think I'm to that point where I actually love so much what I do every day that it doesn't ever feel like work, even though most people would say, geez, you're working all the time. So all of us have the ability to imagine and create what it is that we imagine, you know. I think we talked yesterday about imagining a bird. Well, today, think about a lemon. You can almost smell and taste and feel the texture and the tanginess of that lemon when you think of a lemon. You can definitely see what a lemon looks like in your imagination without me having to actually show you a lemon. I was going to grab a lemon from the refrigerator, but I forgot. So that's the power of our imagination. We think in pictures. We think in terms of what we imagine. That's why storytelling is so important and why telling stories in our businesses is so powerful. People imagine themselves. They put themselves in the story. That's why, you know, movies turn into billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar blockbusters, or hundreds of millions of dollar blockbusters, because people actually will go to a movie, have an emotional experience, put themselves in that movie as one of the characters. We do the same thing when we read books. We become a part of the book if it's a well-written story in a well-written book. So what are some ways to go from imagination to reality and to use visualization for our success? Success, let's say, with respect to our business. Might be success, however you define that, in any area or aspect of your life. But since we're here to make the world a better place and grow our businesses, let's talk about it with respect to that. Number one, we can use our imagination and our creativity and our visualization to transform our environment, transform our habitat, transform our business, transform our home, transform our life, transform our family, transform ourselves, which is where it all begins. We can use it to improve our lifestyle. Isn't that why we're creating our businesses and supersizing our businesses, is to have a better lifestyle? Usually for most of us, most of the entrepreneurs and business people I work with, it's because they want more freedom, more choice, more decisions in their lifestyle. Thirdly, we can use it to create events and literally create events and cause them to take shape just out of an idea, right? My family used to do rodeos for our small town, and you know, it's a big deal. It's a big project, but that's an event. We can use that for training events, coaching events. We can use it for customer appreciation events. We can use it for employee appreciation events. We can create events out of thin air. It's how people create weddings and funerals and everything else, using first our imagination, visualizing how we want it to be, and then creating it, taking the steps to make it happen. We can use our imagination to create, of course, money and possessions. Most of us, I don't know that I can say most of us, many of us started a business from scratch or bought a small business and have been growing and supersizing it. And that's one of the ways that we attract money and possessions and create the things that we want. Fifth, we can bring abundance into our life and an abundance into our business, into our company, and into our work by imagining the customers we want to serve, the people that we love to serve, us successfully serving them, and then actually going out and serving people, giving them a great experience so they come back to us time and time again. We can use our imagination and visualize connecting to the right people. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I've personally had experience with working with the wrong type of clients for me. Now, I believe all people are awesome in their way. We're all different. We're all unique unicorns, but we're also, we also have common values and common goals. And it's a lot more fun to work with people that are like you and that are going in the same direction as you and have common goals, or you have something in common, than it is to work with people that you're very, very different from, or that are on a very different journey than you are. It's why, like, people are attracted to one another. It's why people congregate. It's why people come together in groups, and we see that on social media. It's such a huge example of that. There is a group for, or a collection or a community for absolutely anything you can possibly imagine. Whenever you think you're the only one that collects dragons, you can go online, and I guarantee you can find more than one group of people that collect dragons or teddy bears or whatever else. There's a group for everyone. So those groups are created out of someone's imagination, right? And then like-minded people come together. You can actually use your imagination and visualization to invite love into your life, right? And I like to believe that our customers are, the people we serve are a form and a way of us showing them love, putting love and light and good things out into the world through our products and services and helping people solve problems, things like that. We can use it and transform from idea to reality to increase our health and our happiness. Again, however you define health and happiness for you. We always have, and this is hard to admit sometimes, the exact level of health we believe that we should have at any given moment. Things come into our life and out of our life for a reason, to show us something that we need to see, some kind of a lesson, some kind of an idea, some kind of a thing that we need to realize or teach ourselves in order to become a better version of ourselves. Just my belief, but it seems to be holding true, at least in my life and the lives of those people I interact with. And finally, we can use it to create the life that we want. We can go from imagination to reality. Everything begins in our mind. We're never going to create anything that we didn't at least have an inkling or an idea about in the beginning. We might not know exactly how we're going to get there, but our business will never be more or bigger than we can imagine it to be. Our life, our freedom, our relationships, nothing will ever be more than, like someone said, less than. It can always be less than based on our thinking, but it will never be more than we want it to be. We always have to imagine. That's why we say shoot for the moon with your goals, or shoot for the stars. You'll at least hit the moon. So what are 7 ways that we can bring imagination to life in our life? And these I'll just run through quickly. Number 1, we can change our self-perception. We can change the way we see ourselves. Number 2, we can observe and pay attention to things around us. Number 3, we can access our childhood memories. Sometimes just going back to the things that got us excited when we were children helps us to remember and imagine things. Number 4, we can be open to possibility. I believe that there's infinite possibility on this planet for each and every one of us if we are willing to be open to the fact that infinite possibility can happen for us. Number 5, we want to be curious. If we're not curious, if we're not looking for solutions, if we're not interested in things, especially our customers and people, then we're not going to grow and supersize our business. People give us back what we give to them. What we put out in the world comes back to us. So if we're curious about people, they'll be curious about us. 6, be playful. Have some fun, for goodness sakes. I don't know about you, but most of my life is spent being very serious, very driven, very goal-oriented. And sometimes I just need to let loose and have some more fun. And finally, number 7, spend time in nature. Of course, this is one of my favorite things to do because it allows me to just relax, breathe, realize that everything has a cycle, everything has a reason, everything has a season, and that applies to me growing and supersizing my business as well. And if I spend some time in nature, I'm a lot more relaxed when it comes to understanding the timing of how things happen. So many of us want instant gratification. We want to do something and we want to see the result immediately. Yet with our businesses, if we're truly creating a legacy or a brand or a business that we want to sustain us and make a positive difference in the world, we're looking for the long term more than the short term. So I would love to know, how do you use your imagination, your mind, your ideas to create what it is that you want in your business today? Share at least one thing in the comments below so we can learn from one another. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? How can you use it to supersize your business and maybe even change your life in some small way? Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.